There's many ways to be more attractive. You can fix up your look, change your clothes, but none of that matters if you smell like horse sweat. When trying to find a scent that'll up your attractiveness, it's important to explore every spectrum of fragrances, which means looking at more than just fresh fragrances. People are attracted to different aromas. With that said, I have the 10 most attractive fragrances that'll not only up how attractive you are, but will give you some variety. We're kicking this off with a fragrance that is nothing but quality and smooth. It's Sospiro Dolce Melodia. With this, it's citrusy, but not like your typical fragrance citrus. It's the highest quality citrus coming from the mandarin and orange. Then there's an introduction of spice coming from the saffron. The middle notes is pear and blackcurrant, making this even fruitier, and floral notes enhancing and smoothing the sweetness of the fruits. In the base, there's sandalwood, vanilla, and white musk, giving this a creamy, sweet, alluring aroma. I know previously in other videos I said this is like a more gourmand creamsicle, but the better comparison is more like an orange mosaic. This is one of my personal favorite fragrances, and when I tell you this isn't like your typical designer fragrance, I mean it. With this, you feel luxurious and confident in your smell. This next fragrance is considered by many to be a GOAT fragrance. It's Baccarat Rouge 540. I'm saying that like I don't consider this to be a GOAT fragrance. I real deal think that this is a one-of-a-kind type of scent. This starts out with a warm introduction of saffron, giving this a spicy and sweet like honey smell, along with the cashmere that adds some woodiness and enhances the warmth. The middle note in this is ambroxan, which gives off a subtle sweetness and a clean and bright freshness. The last note is cedar, making this spicier, sweeter, and adding on to the cashmere and woodiness. Then there's jasmine, adding a sweet, creamy floralness that also has hints of citrus. Mason Francis Kirk Dijon once said, "My creations are an invitation to choose the scents that suits you daily, because I like the idea that each woman and man can express a part of themselves through parfum." I don't know about you, but Mason Francis Kirk Dijon seems to have a lot of care about those who purchase his fragrances. Let's switch it up to a fragrance I wore throughout middle school and high school, which is Cheyenne Blues Salt and Caramel. At the top, there's obviously sea salt and caramel, starting out with this savory, sweet aroma. There's tonka, which also gives a comforting addition of warm sweetness that also comes off nutty and creamy. In the base, there's vanilla and sandalwood, enhancing the overall creaminess of this fragrance, and adds a soft, light woodiness. This was one of my go-tos back in school, and it was very recognized. Back then, I wore this so much I didn't want to wear it out, but after smelling it again, I need to wear it more. The fragrance coming up is a cologne. Over here, we don't discriminate against fragrances. All scents are equal. I have for you Lattaf's Camera. Although this is a cologne, doesn't mean it isn't attractive. The top note starts out with cognac, giving this sweet, boozy, warm smell. The heart notes consist of cinnamon, tonka bean, and oak, which all enhance the sweet coziness of the top note with a pinch of woodiness. Then in the base, there's vanilla and praline coming off creamy, soft, sweet, and nutty. Ever since TikTokers advertised this fragrance to be different and unlike any other, they weren't lying. Have you ever done something for yourself and felt your attractiveness increasing? That can be getting your face care together, or in my case, wearing this. Now we're taking a fresh turn from the gourmand fragrances with Parfum de Marly Sedley. The best way I could describe this fragrance is imagine a more refined, smooth, and overall better version of Irish Spring. No, we're not talking about Flight Reacts. The top notes here are bergamot, spearmint, and the watery accord, introducing the wearer with a sharp, tart freshness. In the middle, there's geranium and lavender, enhancing the freshness and giving this fragrance some warmth. In the base, the sandalwood, incense, white musk, and cedarwood make this slightly smoky and darker, while adding on to that spiciness. Sedley has been a huge favorite scent of mine. When I wear this, I feel a confidence boost because I know I'm so fresh and so clean. But this and the next fragrance, bro, have been neck and neck for my most favorite attractive fresh fragrance. It is none other than Prada Sport Luna Rosa EDT. This fragrance is honestly my go-to fragrance when it comes to wanting something fresh, without smelling like ginger ale, which Sedley reminds me of. That freshness comes from the lavender, which also gives off a touch of floralness. Then there's ginger that gives this fragrance a snug warmth and adds additional freshness. The mid note is juniper berries, amplifying that fresh and spiciness while giving this a piney green edge. In the base, there's tonka bean and vanilla. Their sweetness smoothens and balances all these notes out while giving this a creamy edge. Weirdly enough, with Sport Luna Rosa, it's a high-performing, fresh and gourmand scent, so you get the best of both worlds. Another widely considered GOAT fragrance is Creed Aventus. You know how I was saying you get the best of both worlds in that last fragrance? Same with this one, you get fresh and fruitiness. This get real fruity at the top with notes like lemon, apple, bergamot, and blackcurrant. In the middle, there's pineapple making this fruitier, and patchouli gives this earthy and woody touch that segues into our base, which is birch, cedarwood, oak moss, and ambroxan. all adding a woody and earthy scent, then a clean soapy-like edge from the musk. I love fruity fragrances, so when I got this, I was like, damn, I can smell like a fresh, clean man while still smelling juicy and fruity? For the quality and confidence boost you get for this, the price is worth it. You know how I said you have to dive into all spectrums of fragrances? Well, we got a woody one, which is Boss Bottled Elixir. I was thinking either between Hero Parfum and this, but I like this one more because it has more character to it. What I mean is, this isn't just woody. It's smoky from the introduction of incense, which also gives us a sweet touch. Then there's vetiver, which enhances the spicy warmth of the incense, while giving a taste of the woodiness this gives. Where the real woodiness lies is the cedar wood, which makes this scent really dark and adds a deep woody depth. I highly recommend this fragrance if you're trying to get that attractive boost, but with a masculine, sophisticated woody aroma. Stronger with you, absolutely. Back then, before I broke up with my ex, I wore this while we were snuggling up. I noticed she had her head on my chest the whole time. I knew like hell she was in love with my scent. At the top, we got cedarwood giving a dark woody aroma and a subtle sweetness. The base consists of rum accord, which gives a syrupy-like sweetness. In the base, there's lavender, giving this a floral and fresh edge that makes this elegant and satisfying. I know I was the best smelling man that girl's ever been with, and that's because of this fragrance. She told me that was one of the qualities she loved about me. This next one is a real juicy, fruity fragrance. It's none other than Commodity Juice. I was between cherry smoke and this. What made me choose this is when you talk about fruity fragrances, you want something super juicy with multiple fruits in it, not just one. With the first notes being strawberry and raspberry pulp, making this mad juicy. In the heart, it's floral from the Bulgarian rose and cyclamen, also providing a delicate spice and clean scent. In the base, there's amberwood and rhubarb, amping up the warmth of this, while the rhubarb adds a green touch. With this fragrance, I believe it can't get any juicier than this. I mean, it's in the name. If you're interested in upping your attractiveness for these ladies, go watch my 10 fragrances women find irresistible video.